maybe they agreed, Brett and Vince, like, hey, you screwed me. Let me get your ass in the ring and let me just beat the shit out of you, and then we'll be even, or something like that. Because otherwise, I can't figure out what that was supposed to be. Did Vince do anything offensive at all?
Vince had zero offense, none, dude, none in the entire match, dude. It was just a complete beatdown by Brett, and that was it. It was just.
It was so slow too. I mean, Brett would sit in a chair, he would stand up, he would hit him with a chair, he would stand there for a few seconds, he would hit him with it. It was nothing.
It was horrible, dude. It was just, the build-up for that. And can you believe that at one point, dude, on Saturday, the match order, we had this up on the website.
That's right.
The match order for WrestleMania had not been set as of Saturday, and the main events that were being discussed were Taker versus Shawn, obviously, Brett versus Vince, and Cena versus
the Gargano. And nothing happy about that, man.
Yeah, if they ended WrestleMania with that match, good Lord, dude. Good. We had said last Thursday, dude, I couldn't have seen any other match going on last other than Taker versus Shawn. You know what I mean? It made sense. I know it wasn't a title match, but it just made sense to do that coming off. And then the expectations for that match were so high. So going in, you're like, all right, they had a great match last year, and then this year's, that was so hard to live up to anyways, man, and they were just, it didn't come close,
Well, let's do it in order, Brett Vince was trash. Brett got the win with the sharpshooter. Vince didn't do anything. It was a terrible match. It was garbage, the whole thing.
Garbage.
Yeah.
And then they announced the official attendance. They announced Justin Roberts, I believe, was the guy that announced it, but it was 72,219 fans for WrestleMania. So that's what they claim. Hopefully in the next probably in the next couple months with an official figure for WrestleMania attendance. And we had Chris Jericho versus Edge for the world title. I had said on the Thursday show that I expected Edge to take the title here, but they went a different direction. Chris Jericho was able to retain here. We had, this was probably, Cena versus Batista was
Cena versus Batista was fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, that was, and they had the crowd into that as well, man. Cena versus Batista.
I thought Jericho and Edge. I hear everybody talking about how good it was. I expected more. Maybe I just expected more.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as good as it should have been. Let's put it that way.
Well, they did the thing at the end with tons and tons of near falls, which is always good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they do that too much now, I think.
Yeah. Jericho went for a spear at one point, and went for a spear, and then
Edge caught him with a boot in the head, and then Edge went for the spear, and Jericho caught him with the code breaker and pinned him.
Right.
But after the match, the coolest thing happened was where Jericho went to beat down Edge some more, and Edge got him instead, threw him outside the ring, cleared off the announce table, cleared off the Spanish announce table. He put Jericho up on one of the announce tables. He got up on the Spanish announce table. He stood up on his feet. He waited for Jericho to get up to his feet, and then when Jericho did get up, Edge ran from one table to the other and speared him, and they went through the barricade, and Jericho's head got all smashed up, and it just looked awesome.
Yeah, that was a pretty dope spot after the match. Then that led us into our Divas match. This was basically every Diva that was in the match hit their finisher on each other, and that was it.
Splash. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and then the hog splash or the frog, whatever you want to call it at the end, and that was that. So, and then we had John Cena versus Batista. This, like we said, man, the crowd was into this all night. Just a great match back and forth. They did the near fall thing at the end again, and
I thought it was great because of a mistake that was made. Batista dropped Cena right on his fucking head and looked like he killed him.
Oh, I know, dude.
It was bad, man.
Yeah.
Cena was not moving for a while after that. He would not, Batista would have to, kick him and, put him in a headlock. Cena couldn't get up, it seemed, for a while. But eventually, he was fine, I guess. But, yeah, that made a lot of drama in the match, and then the false finishes at the end and the crowd blowing up for all, it was good. It was really good.
You had the STF by Cena and Batista tapped out there, so that was that. Then we had our main event. It was The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Here's the deal with this, man. Like I just said just a minute ago, the expectations going into this were so high, man, coming off last year's match. And, it was a great match. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't. It was nowhere near last year's match.
I think last year's match was made by the same thing. I think Undertaker's dive where he landed on his head because the guy didn't catch him right. I think that added so much drama to the match that you can't get by doing a regular spot. Like, by example, this year they tried a similar thing, which was where Undertaker did old school right at the beginning of the match, and when he landed, he acted like his knee blew out. You know? So he was like soft selling that, and then as Shawn would work on it, he would sell it more and more. And so it was too soon in the match for that, for one. Should have been a different spot where the injury happened because you didn't buy it. You knew it was bullshit. Or last year, you thought Undertaker really was fucking dead from laying on his head. And then another thing they did this year, I think that took away from it a little bit instead of added to it, was Shawn went for a moonsault on the Taker outside the ring, and Taker caught it.
Completely missed, dude. Oh, no, you're not.
No, that was his other one. When he hit his legs or whatever. Yeah, but no, I'm talking about when he did the moonsault and Taker caught him and tombstoned him and on the floor. They had a paramedic come down and checked on Shawn like it was a serious thing, but it was clearly just a tombstone. Like his head didn't hit anything. You could see that on the replay. So you didn't buy that it was like, oh shit, let's have a trainer check on him because he could be really hurt. Like you didn't buy it at all. So
and then they did the near falls here too, where I think Shawn kicked out of a tombstone at one point.
That was great though, because Taker folded his hands up and whipped his hair back. Like that was, you expected that to be the end. It was late in the match and everything, and then he kicked out, super kicked him. Taker kicked out. They started getting it going there.
Well, you knew as soon as Taker hit the tombstone and then Shawn kicked out, you knew that the Sweet Chin music was coming and Taker was going to kick out, and then they finished it up with the tombstone. So, yeah, I mean,
that one cool little thing where Shawn was crawling up his body and Taker was yelling in his face to stay down. He was looking too sorry for him to do anything until Shawn mocked his little slicing the throat gesture and then smacked him in the face, and Taker got mad for enough to tombstone him one more time and pin him. So.
Right.
And then we had exactly what we predicted. The show ends with Shawn doing his poo-poo face up the ramp and everything. What did he say? He said, my kids will be sick of me in 3 weeks. That was all he said?
Yeah, it was something like that, dude. I don't know what it was. And then they had they followed it up on Monday Night Raw. I don't think speak for him. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. People in the chat room are acting like my phone's dead. It sounds pretty good on this end, so I don't know what the deal is. Hopefully we're all right, guys. I got for those that tuned in late, I got a brand new phone last week, so I don't know what the deal is.
I mean, if anything, it looks too loud to me. That's the only thing I can see. But other than that, I hear you fine.
I don't know, whatever. Guys, live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. See, the problem is, if you turn me down, I think
I go with you. Yeah, I turned my phone volume down, and it's all the way low, and you're still loud as shit. And you're on the archive. I'm looking at the levels. You're way louder than me. But
let's try. How about this? Let's try something like this. If I do something like this, sounds better. WZROnline.com/chat. We'll try that and see if that works.
Pretty much the same. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, nonetheless, whatever. So we'll do shout outs here in just a little bit. See, this shit sounds a little bit better, so that's good news. All right, so that was that was WrestleMania 26. They did the Taker help Shawn up, like you said, and then did the poopy face and walked out the ramp, and that was that. So. Whatever. That was WrestleMania 26. I guess
the poll results real quick here. We got everybody made their votes. What grade would you give WrestleMania 26? It won with B won with 43% of the votes. A had 26%, C had 24%, D had 5%. So that was that.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
I already deleted it. It was B, A, C, and D. I don't remember.
B, A, C, and D, or D. All right, no doubt. So that was Monday Night Raw, or that was WrestleMania. All right, let's run down Monday Night Raw. We'll get through a little bit here, and then when we come back from the break, the hourly break, we'll finish that up. We'll talk about TNA Impact a little bit. I'm going to kind of skip through Monday Night Raw. We won't take as much time as we did on WrestleMania. And then in hour number 2, we're going to get you guys' thoughts on WrestleMania and Raw, whatever you want to talk about, news, rumors, UFC tomorrow night. We'll give out the live phone number here in just a little bit. All right, so Monday Night Raw from last night, man, we kicked things off. Batista came out and basically said that WrestleMania was a fluke. And the crowd, loud chants of "You tapped out." They were in Phoenix last night as well for Monday night, same place. And
Cena came out to be the babyface, and he got chanted "Cena sucks" at him, and he couldn't continue because he was talking about how the fans are on his side because he does this and Batista whines. He does this, Batista whines. And while he's saying why the fans like him and don't like Batista, the fans start yelling "Cena sucks." really fucking loud. And he just stopped for a second, like he was like, "Oh God, I'm sitting here talking about why the fans like me, and they're telling me I suck right now." It was awesome, man.
Well, it was that Cena. It was like a Cena corny promo. You know what I mean? People hate it. If it was a serious Cena, go back to the rapping gimmick. You know